It's really fun being involved in the production of such a car and to actually see it out on the street later. In the beginning, there's just a handful of people, and later in the product development phase, there are more and more. Ultimately, there are thousands of people who work on it. Being part of that, perhaps also as a driving force, is really fun. It's interesting being here. You're somewhere in Lower Saxony, but at the same time, you're working all over the world with people across the globe. The great thing about the job is you get up in the morning, already start thinking about the car, get into the car, usually start making the first phone calls in the car, and then have various meetings all day. I enjoy the meetings with the design department most. You can look at the next models and talk shop with the designers a bit, what their plans are, and if they feel they're headed in the right direction. I suppose I just love looking at it. I could spend hours walking around it. My favorite view is at an angle from the back. It's got a sexy backside. So 4 years ago, when we started the Golf project, I was head of product marketing for the Golf. That means I was responsible for defining the features that should be included in the car, the way the car's going to be positioned, and which markets it's going to be sold in, what sort of volumes we're going to make, and the approximate pricing. The exciting thing about the job is that we're the link between the overall sales organization, the customer, and the R&D department. What I think makes a big difference is that I've always played with cars. I've always enjoyed riding motorbikes, repaired cars and bikes myself. I love technology in cars. My first car, I absolutely adored it, was a red Beetle, a Mexico Beetle. And after that I had my first Golf, a Golf 2. And the first thing I did with it was cross the Alps. Having got there, I did an exciting internship near Nice. I have no idea how many parking tickets I got during that time. They were lying around in the car for ages. Back then, they didn't have an agreement that you actually had to pay the fines. Then I went to university. I studied industrial engineering and majored in mechanical engineering and automotive technology. Did my PhD in applied mathematics in the USA, and before I knew it, I found myself right in the middle of the automotive world. Once you're in it and get a taste of how much fun it is to create new cars and to put yourself in the customer's position and to think about what they want, what will be needed in the future, that's so much fun, you stick with it. Developing a car, especially when it comes to the Golf, as you can imagine, everyone in the whole company was involved. It's the heart of the Volkswagen brand. Of course, everyone contributes and tries to put the best ideas into practice. At the start of every vehicle project, and again later on, we visit the various regions, the various countries. You need to have been to China to get an impression of what the optimal features would be for the Golf for China. The same's true of the USA and Brazil. It's not a purely European car anymore. We have sales events to which we invite importers and dealers and sales organizations from all over the world. And when we showed them the Golf for the first time, the expression on their faces and how much they're looking forward to this car now, that was such a fantastic moment. It makes you feel proud, and that's what you work for. That's what you give your heart and soul for.